Good evening and welcome to Valley Stadium, site of tonight's Central Iowa Game of the Week with the Valley Tigers taking on the Dowling Catholic Maroons. I'm Trent Condon here with you for a prep preview before play-by-play action starts across the CISN network, as we will bring you Valley Dowling along with Johnston on the road at Ankeny tonight and Waukee hosting the Southeast Polk Rams. Joining me right now here in our prep preview, it is the athletic director at Valley High School. He is Brad Rose. Brad, good to see you again.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, it just seemed like it was a few weeks ago, because it was a few weeks ago. Saw you out on the baseball fields, but a new school year, already a couple weeks into the school year, and already a game under the belt for the Tigers. Feels good to be back out here, though, at Valley Stadium.
It is awesome to be out here. We got great weather, and we're going to have a great crowd, and we're playing our neighbors, and always one of the best games in the state.
Always a lot of anticipation for this game. We've seen Valley a couple of times here the last 3 years during this Dowling run be able to knock them off during the regular season, but come playoff time, Dowling is just taking it to another gear. Tell us a little bit about what you know about this Valley football team this season. 1-0, started off the year with a win on the road at Southeast Polk, and as always, big expectations for Valley football.
Yeah, well, it starts at the top. They're very well coached. We've got a lot of seniors back and juniors. We've got over 90 kids out for football in those two classes. That's really where it starts. And that's what happens at Dowling too. They have great classes. They keep a lot of kids out, and that shows some resiliency. And it showed up last Friday night. We got down 13-0. Had a couple bad breaks, balls pop out of our hands, and interceptions, and they got ahead. And then we just kind of settled down. We kind of made it to halftime, and we settled down. And then we came out and kind of played Valley football. And, you know, Southeast Polk's a good team. They're a very good team. They're going to win a lot of games. So it was just a nice win. And I think we saw our senior quarterback kind of find his stride a little bit. And he's going to need that confidence tonight against a very good, Dowling defense.
Well, Valley Stadium, this is year number 20, is that right, of the stadium? Year 19?
2002. So
2002,
we moved over.
okay.
Yeah. So we're it feels like a new stadium, though, with everything we got going on, so it's kind of nice. Yeah.
It is, and some of those changes, well, the one you can see right back behind us, the new turf there on the field. You know, any concerns going into the first couple of games of the season? You know, you hear some things maybe a little bit slicker than what the guys are accustomed to. What have you heard of the new playing surface here?
Well, we had a great install, because soon after the install we had some heavy rains. And that heavy rain has that rubber gets to settle and drain off. The water drained off perfectly, and I was worried about the turf being soft, because it can be kind of soft and slow down things a little bit. I heard that at the University of Iowa and some places where they have field turf, and it's really a great product. It's really safe, and we've had nothing but good things happen on it. I asked Tom Wilson, the coach of Dowling, last week. I said, how'd it play? He said it played just fine, and it played plenty fast, and I think that's what everybody wants to see, is fast football out here with these two teams, so it's nice. So I think we're in good shape.
Well, not only the new turf back behind us, but some other new things you guys are doing, including the concession stand over there and fast food. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Fast Food is an app that you can download on your phone. Everybody uses their phones now, and if you don't want to wait for your food, you can go online and you can order up. There's a menu on there, and then you can pick it up at the pickup window in a little bag, and you can go right back to your seat. We also added TVs in all three of the concession stands, so when you're down, if you do walk down to get food, or pick your food up, you won't miss any of the action, because we're going to have you guys on there. They're going to have to look at you. That's all right.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry about that.
And then, hopefully we'll be on the game, right? And then, we've also had addition. We redid all the bathrooms, put new Musco lighting in, new goalposts, a new net behind over here protecting the event center. I just feel like, our new elevator is not in yet. That's one of the negative things. It's not in yet, so we've had to let fans know to park on the north side, especially someone in a wheelchair. If you are handicapped, parking, but you're able to walk to your seat, you still can park on the west. So when Dowling's here for their home games, or when Valley's here for the home games, you can still park on the west. But if you need to use the elevator, you're going to have to park on the north side and come in that way, and we'll let them sit down here by the field, get some close action.
So, Brad, the fall sports season already underway, volleyball going on, cross country, got fall golf, lots of different things happening, certainly at Valley. The expectations are always big. Biggest school in the state, a lot of people have expectations. Tell us a little bit about this sports athletic program as a whole, and as you look at 2019-2020.
Well, we do have high expectations. That's because our families and our community has high expectations, and then that translates into our kids training hard and working hard in all of our stuff, fine arts or athletics. Our cross-country teams are off to a great start. I consider them both top 10 teams. Our volleyball team's ranked second or third, depending on which poll you look at. Boys golf is solid again. Our girls swimming's off to a good start. I mean, really, our dance and cheer. I mean, everything's really. It's just that time of year in the fall. Obviously, our football is good and ranked. And so that's where you want to be, and that's ultimately we want to play in that last game like we did 4 times last year, winning 4 titles last year with the softball, the girls golf, and the girls basketball, and the sports that we wanted in. So, and obviously boys track. So we're pretty lucky to have 4 state titles. That's pretty fortunate.
Final thing for you, it is Valley Dowling, the biggest rivalry certainly here in Central Iowa. People say the state of Iowa, and maybe one of the biggest ones in the Midwest. Take us inside the hallways throughout this week and what it means, just for the kids and being involved in this rivalry game.
Well, we got a lot of families, that have grown up here, been here, and if you moved here like I did 11 years ago, you quickly find out. I got friends at Dowling. I got coaches over there that I played for a long time ago, and we've got kids here. They've got coaches on their staff that were Valley kids. So it really becomes families versus families, but it's a good rivalry. It's really turned into a healthy rivalry. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We want to play hard, and we want to beat them. We want to win this game. In the hallways, there's tremendous respect. Our kids know this is how we judge. Where are we at? What do we need to work on? And the loser of this game has gone on to really improve. I mean, I think Tom Wilson will tell you that we kind of show him where they're weak, and then they improve on that. And it's in some ways it's not good because they found a way to put that together. And obviously 6 straight titles, they're a force. I really feel like our kids are ready. They're excited. They want to show that they've worked hard all summer too and prove they belong. So it should be a heck of a game tonight.
Looking forward to it. That's the athletic director at West Des Moines Valley, Brad Rose, here on Prep Preview on CISN. We'll take a quick time out. Back with more in a moment.
Thank you.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. From medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Schottenkirk Ford Indianola's kickoff event this month only. Take $16,000 off MSRP on every brand new 2019 Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLT 4x4 in stock. Plus, first responders receive an additional $1,000 bonus cash on new 2019 F-150 Super Duty, Expedition, and Ranger. New 2019 Fusion and Escape starting at just $18,999. Ford fans drive to Indianola to buy Fords. A kickoff event. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Milwaukee, Dowling, and Valley games. Welcome back here to Prep Preview on CISN. I'm Trent Condon as we get ready for kickoff tonight. It's Dowling Catholic, the number 1 ranked team in the state against fifth ranked West Des Moines Valley. Joining me right now, he's the Associate Athletic Director over at Dowling Catholic. It is Mike O'Connor. OC, good to see you again.
Trent, good to see you too. Thanks for being here.
Love being here, love this rivalry game, and just talking with Brad Rose over at Valley, his side, asked him about this rivalry and what this means. Now, I've had this relayed to me before that these kids grow up together. They're friends, they're neighbors. These are people that know each other. Now, when you're taking on maybe the Waukees of the world, that rivalry can be a little bit different, but there's always respect inside this rivalry.
Absolutely. I would agree with Brad. Although I think if you talk to some of the old school Valley people and some of the old school Dowling people, there's a little bit more of maybe a hatred involved. But being the assistant athletic director and being a basketball coach, I've never heard our kids talk about, I hate Valley. They know a lot of these kids, like you said. They played on youth baseball, football, basketball teams with them. There's a pressing desire to want to beat them, but it's not malicious or evil in any sort of way.
OC, as you look at the athletic department at Dowling and the success certainly on the football field here, the 6 consecutive championships, there's been losses. Last year there were 2 losses during the regular season, but come October, November, it seems like that team just can completely go to another level. As you watch it from your spot and your post and you see what Coach Wilson and everybody else inside that athletic department and that football team do, what is it? I mean, it's not a magic pill that you can take just to play better football at the end of the year, but they do something.
Well, that's a great question. And I really think there's a few things, and I feel very fortunate that I've had kind of a front row seat to see a lot of it, not only as an assistant athletic director, but most importantly as a coach. Number one, there's a large expectation at Dowling to win. And now in football, with winning 6 in a row, there's an expectation you better keep winning championships. I think it also has to do with the coaching and staying the course. Even after a couple setbacks, they just keep focused on getting better. And then our kids buy into that process. And I don't think it can be overstated enough that you have to have good kids to win 6 championships, and we've had good kids talent-wise, but most importantly, we've had good kids character-wise in all our sports, walking our halls, and those are things that I believe separate us at times in the postseason when games are close and a play goes or a game goes play here, play there. I think that has a lot to do with it.
Now, I got to ask the question. This is a Valley home game, so it makes your night a little bit easier as opposed to last week when you guys were the home team here. But everybody always asks, when's Dowling going to get their own stadium?
Great question. It seems like this comes up as a legitimate conversation around our office probably once a year, every other year. But right now, there are so many other things that we have pressing needs for at Dowling. Our athletic facilities in general probably need to be looked at and addressed before we do that. And I know Tom is very sensitive to the fact of he doesn't want people perceiving that, well, football needs it, football gets it. And I think that's down his priority list. Yeah, sure, we'd all like it. Honestly, as the assistant athletic director and pseudo athletic director during the fall months when he's being the football coach, it would be so much nicer to have our own stadium. It's like hosting a party at somebody else's house. That's not, you feel bad when something doesn't go well and you got to call Nate, you got to call Brad and say, hey, we had an issue. And it would be much easier from my standpoint. But I would think in time it will happen, but I don't know if you'll be doing games yet, and I don't know if I'll still be coaching or assistant AD at that time.
It'll be happening just down the road quite a way. And that's the other part, and I don't think many people realize the cost involved. The cost involved, it's not throwing a field down in a couple of stands and away you go. There's a lot more that goes into it.
Absolutely. And then you've got to pay for that, and 5-6 football games a year and 10 soccer games aren't going to cover it. I mean, that's I'm guessing why the Menace have played here before, and other organizations have come through and here use the facility. It is a huge undertaking, and just to keep it up, to hire staff here to keep it looking nice, it is a huge expense. I think it will be worth it, but you got to find the right time to do it.
One last thing for you, OC. Not only you're over there as the assistant AD, you are the head boys basketball coach, and big expectations coming into this year. You got a freshman coming in, and Omaha creating a lot of buzz, certainly, in a lot of basketball circles.
Yeah, and he deserves it. He's a very good player. The nice thing for us is we feel like we've got some other really good players to surround him with. The one thing I've cautioned Omaha, I've cautioned the people close to him, and I'll caution everybody else with, he is 14. And he's going to have some nights where he looks like he's the real deal. And he's going to be the real deal at some point. But there's going to be some nights this first year, maybe even second year, where he looks like a 14-year-old. And we just have to stay patient with that. But what's impressed us the most, his work ethic, how coachable he is, and how competitive he is. He's not a typical 14-year-old in that manner. So we're excited about it. We're excited about all our kids. We are really lucky to have really, really good kids. And I'm not talking talent-wise. Yes, they're talented. Yes, we know there's expectations, but they're great kids to work with. And we've got really supportive parents. So we are really excited for the winter.
That's Mike O'Connor, head basketball coach for the boys team and also the assistant athletic director. We'll take a timeout as we come back on the other side with more. Continuing is Prep Preview on CISN.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Save thousands in Waukee. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. 2019 Silverado 1500 Double Cab up to 25% off. 2019 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT or RST up to 20% off MSRP or up to $5,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 2019 Colorado up to $7,000 off or $5,000 off plus 1.9% for 60 months or 2.9% for 72 months. These won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury, whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Central Bank is proud to support the unmatched spirit of sportsmanship and hard work exemplified by our local athletes. We're fans of high school sports and the way the big game and hometown team rally a community. Best of luck to all of today's competitors. Play hard, have fun, and make something great happen. Central Bank, member FDIC.
Trent Condon back with you here at Valley Stadium as we get ready for Dowling Catholic against West Des Moines Valley. Great rivalry game here, but that's not all we have tonight on CISN. We'll have the call for you of this one. Also coming up tonight, we'll bring you Waukee against Southeast Polk and Ankeny High. They'll be hosting Johnston. The three other games will have video on CISN. All you have to do is search on YouTube CISN, and you can find the links to all three of our games here tonight across the network. Right now, we're going to throw it to Ankeny with a preview of tonight's matchup between the Dragons and the Hawks. That's coming your way here on CISN.
Faced up that way. I just ask if you're. Ready to go? Yep. Okay, here we go. It is week 2 of the Iowa High School 2019 season and the home opener for the Ankeny Hawks, even though they played here last week as the road team. Hello, everybody. Paul Yeager. Tim Halber will have the call tonight of Johnston at Ankeny. Last week, Tim, Ankeny goes into overtime. It comes down to a kick. One team made it. One team did not. The team that did not is trying to get a win tonight here at home.
Yes, I thought Ankeny outplayed him last weekend. There was a really good game for him. And we're looking at maybe like less than 10 yards difference between total offense between two teams. So we expected like a 14-14 game. Now the key is, how does Ankeny come out of that funk of an overtime loss, have the same enthusiasm tonight, because they're playing a very talented Johnston team.
So the Hawks had, I won't say relative ease, but they found throwing the football a lot easier than running the football. Cale Boyd is the guy that is the starter listed at running back. He's the guy they try to get into that passing game, but they're going to have to find someone else that can help Boyd find some positive yards.
That may be one of the earlier keys is how they spread that offense around, because listening to Woodley earlier, they know where number 11 is at all times. Because I think that if they try to go to him early on, they may have him double covered. But if they can find a tight end, another running back to kind of spread that offense a little bit out, Boyd gets more, or Breck gets more one-on-one opportunities and can stretch that field, vertically.
Brody Breck, number 11. He's kind of looks like a number 11. He's kind of tall and slender, and defenses absolutely know where he's at. Johnston tonight comes in, Tim, 1-0 with a win last week against Urbandale. Scored pretty much all their points in the first half. Got a lot of guys in under those Friday night lights. There's no jitters tonight when they go on the road.
Yeah, you hope not. That's the biggest difference is between week 1, week 2. How those guys perform. You should get out of the huddle a lot cleaner. Should have less mistakes in there. They spread the ball. They have a lot of talented wideouts that tend to go to a single back set. Now it's like, can these guys step up? Because Ankeny is going to be a much more physical team than Urbandale was last weekend for Johnston.
So the Johnston Dragons had to replace some incredible players across the offense and defense. They found a couple of guys that have continued their success from last year, and that's Jordan Rush. He is an incredibly hard runner to tackle. He doesn't even play running back. He's their slot guy. But Bainbridge, we've got some guys on this Johnston team. You got to know where they're at. They throw out multiple personnel looks for this team. So how do you defend something like this?
This is kind of where your typical high school offense, you're going to see this is truly a run-pass option offense. You're going to see them spread the ball out, single back formation, empty back sets. Plus, everything's covered. Quarterback's going to take off and run. That's one thing they did last week, and he was their second leading rusher, was the quarterback. Little banged up last week, and he's kind of a younger guy. He's a sophomore, good athlete, but kind of see how he responds this weekend to, like I said, a much bigger defensive line, very active linebackers on the Hawks squad, kind of see if they can cut those lanes down and kind of keep them pinched in.
We're going to talk about the name Stortz a lot at quarterback, or it could be the senior Brooks. We might see them both. Saw them both yesterday in practice when we had a chance to look at things. So, Tim Keys, tonight, you heard Coach Nelson tell us earlier this week, he says we made a lot of mental mistakes. I asked him in the pregame show that you'll hear, which will begin at 6:30 on CISN.TV on our Johnston Ankeny feed. I said, how do you get over those mental mistakes?
That's a funny thing. You got 17, 18-year-olds. Like, how do they respond? Sometimes they have a very short memory span. They go back to school on Monday, they forget it all. They could be fine. Otherwise, they could have that lingering effect. They're more of an experienced squad. They have a lot more senior leadership. I think they're going to come out and say, okay, let's go back. Same effort. If they have success early, I think this could be a very, very interesting game tonight.
All right. Tim Halber, Paul Yeager will have the call here at 7 o'clock, but our pregame show on CISN.TV of Johnston and Ankeny begins at 6:30 at the bottom of the hour. Let's go back to the studio and enjoy hearing about all those great games we have tonight on the network.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.
Schottenkirk Ford Indianola's kickoff event this month only. Take $16,000 off MSRP on every brand new 2019 Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLT 4x4 in stock. Plus, first responders receive an additional $1,000 bonus cash on new 2019 F-150 Super Duty, Expedition, and Ranger. New 2019 Fusion and Escape starting at just $18,999. Ford fans drive to Indianola to buy Fords. A kickoff event. Schottenkirk Ford Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com. thousands in Waukee. Schottenkirk Chevy, Waukee. 2019 Silverado 1500 Double Cab up to 25% off. 2019 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab, LT or RST up to 20% off MSRP. Or up to $5,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. We're in a position to give you more for your trade in Waukee. 2019 Colorado up to $7,000 off. Or $5,000 off plus 1.9% for 60 months. Or 2.9% for 72 months. These won't last. Schottenkirk Chevy, Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back with you on Prep Preview on CISN. I'm Trent Condon and joined for our final segment here of our pregame show by Cody Goodwin of the Des Moines Register. Cody, week 2 of the high school season. Every single year it flies by, and it's crazy to believe it's already week 2.
I know, right? We know a little bit more going into this week's games than maybe we did last week's game, but still a lot to learn, and especially tonight's big game between Valley and Dowling.
So you look at this matchup, and we've seen during this 6-year run out of Dowling Catholic, Valley's got them a couple of times during the regular season, but come playoff time, Dowling just goes to another level. And I know there's some frustration from some Tiger fans about that and seeing the crosstown rival, what they've been able to do at that time. When you look at this Dowling team and what they've done over these last 6 years, is there anything that you can pinpoint the reason that maybe you can get them in September, but you're not going to get them in October, November?
I tell you what, when it comes time for the postseason, this Dowling team, they don't make mistakes. They make some mistakes maybe early on in the season, which is why, last year they started 2-2 in non-district play before they were able to get some things rolling. Years past when they've lost to Valley or when they've lost to Ankeny Centennial, they're able to make corrections and they don't make mistakes. They play really clean football by the time the postseason rolls around, and they kind of round into form through district play, and it's really impressive to watch. I mean, if you want to beat these guys, even in the regular season, you have to play not exactly perfect, but pretty close to perfect if you want to beat these guys. They're that good.
So, Cody, when you look at this matchup here tonight, coming into the season, it was going to be a conversation about the running backs. Creighton Mitchell for Valley, he gets banged up last week. Gavin Williams for Dowling, we haven't seen him yet, and he's not going to be playing here tonight. It does change, I guess, the focus a little bit, and maybe puts the focus on the quarterbacks in the game tonight.
Maybe a little bit. I think for Dowling, they're no shortage of running back for the Maroons. I mean, they still got Tegan Johnston, who ran for 200-plus yards last week in a win over Waukee. And this is a guy that stepped in for an injured Jason Murray last year in the state championship game, rushed for 82 yards and a touchdown. So he's no stranger to a big stage like this. For Valley, yes, I think you do look at the quarterback just based on how they played last week. Senior Braden Ketcher emerged from a 4-way battle in the preseason. First non-Lombardi brother to start for Valley in 5 years, right? In his debut, 272 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, and he brought Valley back from a 20-17 deficit. So very, very impressive over always talented Southeast Polk squad. Can they get some of those playmakers in? Can they get them the ball in space again? Because that's what they were able to do really well in the second half last week. You mentioned Craig Mitchell getting banged up. He's actually suited up. He's going to try and give it a go this week. We're not sure how much he'll get to play tonight, but he's going to give it a shot. So that's obviously an added bonus if he can go a little bit for the Tigers.
Well, Cody, not just this one tonight. This, of course, is a monster game with Dowling and Valley, but a couple other games that you're keeping your eye on tonight as you're scrolling through Twitter and you're putting your tweets out there, updating everybody on this game. Tell us what else you're going to be keeping your eye on across Central Iowa.
Lots of games going on, especially here in the CIML. We know it's kind of no rest for the weary during these first 4 weeks of the football season. Waukee's got Southeast Polk, real intriguing game. Both teams came off of, quote-unquote heartbreaking losses in week 1. Another one, Johnston, Ankeny. Johnston looked real impressive last week over Urbandale. Ankeny right there, another heartbreaking loss to Ankeny Centennial. Those are going to be some intriguing games. And I tell you what, another one, Des Moines Lincoln versus Des Moines Roosevelt. Both came off pretty big city school rivalry games in week 1 with victories. Going to be really interesting to see what we see from them in week 2 as well as they move forward.
Week 2, here it is. That's Cody Goodwin with the Des Moines Register. Thanks, Cody, for your time.
Absolutely. Love being here.
Well, as we wrap up here on CISN in the pregame show, want to let you know we will be here at Dowling Catholic against West Des Moines Valley. We'll have the call for that one. The pregame show coming up here in just a few minutes as I'll sprint my way up to the top and the press box and get ready for that. But that's not all. We'll also bring you Johnston on the road at Ankeny, that matchup that Cody mentioned to you. We'll have the stream of that one, and Southeast Polk on the road at Waukee. All 3 games, you can find them just on YouTube. Search CISN. It'll pop up there, and you can find the link to your favorite game and bounce around this evening. Should be a great night of football. Week 2 of the high school football season. For our great group of guests here tonight, thank you to Brad Rose for joining us, Mike O'Connor, and Cody Goodwin. I'm Trent Condon. Game kickoff right around the corner. It's next on CISN. This has been the pregame show.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology.